When a couple with infertility issues wants to build their family, it can be tough to decide the path that's right for them.
There's one option that many people don't think of, even though it's been around for decades. In today's Your Family Now, we meet Waterloo couple Travis and Annette Wells and hear their journey with embryo adoption. You'll often find the Wells family outside their Waterloo home. With kids ages 11, 7, and twin 3-year-olds, they need to get the wiggles out.
These kids are loved and cared for, and they're ours.
But what you wouldn't know by watching them play
Good job, bud.
Is the unique way the Wells family came to be.
My husband and I knew long before we were married that adoption was going to be the way that we grew our family.
Because of an infertility issue, they adopted Cornelius from Guatemala as a baby. They planned to adopt more children this way.
And then Guatemala closed their adoptions, and so we were looking for another option.
They chose the Snowflakes Embryo Adoption Program. Here's how it works. A family that has a child through in vitro fertilization may have frozen embryos that are never implanted. There are at least 600,000 of these in the U.S.
And they really have three choices with those embryos. They can leave them frozen indefinitely. They can donate them for science, and or they can give them up for adoption.
Annette received hormone treatments and then was able to carry 3 of her children, Corbin, and years later, twins Katie and Cora.
And then I got to enjoy all of the wonderful parts of being pregnant, the good, bad, and the ugly.
Many people also see embryo adoption as a good fit for religious reasons. The Wells family believes life begins at conception.
You are giving a life a chance to grow and to mature and to see what the potential is in these little frozen embryos. And it's just been a true blessing to our whole family.
A loving family bonded by something much more powerful than DNA.
We don't have a lot of money in the bank, but we do have a lot of love in our house. And that's more important to us than anything.
Well, severe storms continue to break across Nebraska and Iowa. I'll have the latest on how long this is going to last.
KMTV3 and the Boys and Girls Club of the Midlands want to take you on the road to paradise, Hawaiian style. Join us as we work to inspire all young people to be responsible, productive, and caring members of society. June 1st at the Omaha Marriott downtown.
First Responders Foundation presents the exciting charity boxing event Guns and Hoses, Saturday, April 28th at Baxter Arena. Watch Omaha's firefighters and police officers duke it out to support First Responders Foundation. Tickets start at just $10. Go to BaxterArena.com.
This is my Toyota Camry. It comes with Toyota Safety Sense Standard, which means it sometimes has better reflexes than I do. Those same features would cost over $10,670 more in a Chevy Malibu. No joke. And that's why I give my Camry 5 stars.
Tested, trusted, Toyota. Lease a new 2018 Camry for $239 per month, including $500 lease bonus cash, or get 0.9% APR financing. Find your Toyota at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Coach, how do I ask Jenny Pritchard to the prom?
Here, son, take my loaded potato lays. One bite of these, you might just say yes.
Thanks, Coach.
Actually, get your own. Olay the day, Timmy.
Our new loaded potato olays are just $3.49. Olay the day at Taco John's.
It's time to mow, and it's time to save. Don't miss the Raptor Season Sales event at your local Hustler Turf retailer. Get all the strength, all the power, and all the high-performance zero-turn mowing perfection of the legendary Hustler Raptor family at the lowest price of the season. Save time when it's time to mow, and save big during the Raptor Season Sales event.
Get your Hustler mower at Ty's Outdoor Power and Service in Gretna and Omaha.
What if everyone cared like family? Would we listen more, help more, protect more? At CHI Health Clinic, we understand the power of family. That's why we have a location right around the corner with clinical providers you can trust, people who know you as neighbors. Because this is more than us helping patients. This is family, always there when it counts. CHI Health Clinic. Imagine that.
The big story today at America's largest home furnishing store is savings. Customers are getting the price on furniture and flooring usually reserved for close family of employees.
Right. That makes this leather rocker recliner just $299. $60 off Mart price.
Plus, they're offering 24-month financing store-wide. The big news over in appliance and electronics is a $10 million blowout event. And the top story is shoppers saving like family on furniture and flooring now at Nebraska Furniture Mart.
Crescent,
Thanks for watching KMTV3.
Some parts of our viewing area still in the thick of it right now. These warnings in effect for parts of Iowa and Nebraska at this hour.
Yeah, really a lot to talk about. Again, hail and gusty winds have been the main concern, with some reported funnels, but no tornadoes, which is great news, even though that we still have a watch in effect. Right now, here is the largest scope, so you can see exactly where the severe thunderstorms are right now. South and west of Clarinda, Nebraska City, stretching all the way to the west of Atlantic, and then up in the Carroll area, so just off to the east of Denison. This is where the severe storms are right now. Let's zoom in, show you where we've seen some stronger complex of thunderstorms producing up to about close to ping pong ball size hail. So Coon Rapids right now, Audubon, we're looking at less activity. This is starting to run into cold air. So that's going to start capping the environment and causing these storms to really fizzle out very quickly. But we still have severe storms to the south of us. So again, Carson, you're under a severe thunderstorm, or at least close to it. Mills and Pottawatomie County, this is until 5:30. So we're talking 5:20, so another 10 minutes on these warnings right now. Continuing down to the south of us between Thurman, Nebraska City, Fairfax, just off close to the Tarkio area. So Fremont, Mills, Nemaha, and even Odo County, you're under the severe thunderstorm warning until 5:30 this evening. So again, hail has been the biggest concern, ranging from around quarter nickel size up to about golf ball, even ping pong ball size. So again, these storms have had a history of producing hail, and that is what is going to be the main threat and hazards right now, along with gusty winds up to 50, 60 miles an hour. Have to show you how intense these thunderstorms are. A ton of lightning, which makes it even more dangerous outside. And you can see just how quickly they have rapidly developed here within the past 3 hours. The complex of thunderstorms has really been super energized. We're getting the lift and the rotation. There have been some indications of that. And we've had some reported confirmation of funnels, but again, no tornadoes with this system. Showing you how large this storm system is right now. It stretches all the way from Minnesota, the Dakotas, down to the south into Texas. Severe weather is breaking out all the way from Kansas City into parts of Oklahoma, around the Tulsa metro area, even into Arkansas, Louisiana. Also, that threat continues. So as this line of storms moves eastward, on the backside, the cold air starts rushing in, and the rain will be switching over to snow. And it is coming down steady and heavy over the western half of the state right now. But the main concern at this hour, and really for the next couple of hours until 9 o'clock tonight, tornado watch in effect from Atlantic, Clarinda, and even Falls City. Back to the north, the severe thunderstorm watch in effect there over the Carroll area until later this evening. Check out the temperature extremes across the area. 40s from Norfolk and Wayne, 60s here in town. It was at 87 degrees in Platt Smith here just at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. Seeing a huge drop because of the rain, the storms developing there. So rain cooled, and the warmest air is being pushed further to the east. So that is going to cut the severe storm development here within the next hour or so, which is great news. But you can see how cold that air is back to the west. 29 in North Platte. That's what's headed our way. As far as the overall impacts really into tomorrow, it's winter weather. We're talking snow on the backside of this storm system. Winter weather advisory in effect for the Omaha Metro now, late tonight, early tomorrow morning. It continues throughout the day tomorrow. Winter storm warning in effect for the Tacoma area. Blizzard warning because of wind gusts tomorrow, 50 miles an hour, which will cause blowing, drifting snow, reducing visibility, and making travel really dangerous. Here's a look at the totals. Less than an inch further to the south of I-80, 1 to 2 here in town. 3 to 4 from Pender, Columbus, and Wayne and Norfolk. You could see up to 8 inches. Again, some of this will be measuring sideways, but this is going to cause dangerous travel conditions across the area. So again, the rain will continue until early in the morning, sunrise, switching over to a mix, and then all snow as we go into tomorrow. And this storm system doesn't start exiting until early Sunday morning. So let's talk more about those numbers going into the weekend right now. As we take a look at that extended forecast, we'll see continuing chances for severe storms as we go into the weekend. And again, something we'll be watching very closely. And with the threat for severe thunderstorms across the area, always a good reminder, download the Storm Shield app so you know when warnings are issued. We'll have more in a moment.
Elementary school today, medical school tomorrow. Norma wants to take care of young people someday, just like her cardiac team at Children's Hospital and Medical Center, the best place for kids. A baby born with a complex heart condition, only 2 weeks old when she received a pacemaker. Today, Norma is active and happy, a 7-year-old with big dreams and a heart for others. Paging Dr. Norma, you can't beat the sound of that. Children's Hospital and Medical Center. We know children.
At Veridian Credit Union, we always want to save you money. That's why we're offering auto loans as low as 2.54% APR, up to $150 cash back, and 90 days with no payments when you bring us your existing auto loan from another financial. This offer ends April 30th, so call, click, or visit any Veridian branch today to apply, including our newest location on South 144th Street in Omaha.
Real people, steel people. Professionals demand dependability on the job. Homeowners expect long-lasting value. And servicing steel dealers provide friendly, knowledgeable support. Right now, get the Steel FS38 trimmer for just $129.95. Or step up to the FS56 RCE trimmer for just $199.95. Get yours now, only at your local steel dealer. Search STIHL or visit steeldealers.com.
You hear the big news? What? No? It's the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event, and it's happening now. Did you see the size of that logo? Check out this brainy lawnmower, and would you look at this Civic? Yeah, this is no ordinary Civic. It's a Honda Civic with Sport Mode. You know what's in here that's faster than Sport Mode? Okay, the Indy car, but that's mine.
The Honda Dream Garage Spring Event is on now. You could get a great deal on the Civic, a KBB.com Best Buy for 2018.
Here at Lovely Skin Spa, we offer more than 50 unique spa treatments to suit your needs.
From facials to peels, waxing, and body treatments, Lovely Skin Spa is nationally recognized for offering the most advanced in skincare treatments.
We're also the only spa in Nebraska to offer treatments from Natura Bissé and Bliss.
Looking for Botox, fillers, or laser hair removal? Dr. Joel Schlesinger's cosmetic surgery practice is just steps away.
To get away for a day, visit Lovely Skin Spa next to Oakview Mall.
Dundee. Thanks for watching KMTV3.
Well, let's take another look at where the severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect from Nebraska City just to the southwest of Clarinda. So be prepared for things to change very quickly as these storms continue to move east and northeast. What we're looking at is really large hail with these storms and strong gusty winds between 50-60 miles an hour. Here's a look at the next 7 days, and we're talking major changes here. Temperatures dropping tomorrow, 100% chance we'll see a rain to snow mix, accumulating snow, cold start to Sunday, and even on Monday, 46. As we go into next week, a slow recovery with highs in the 50s and 60s and more rain in the forecast.
Still a lot of activity. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 6.
Don't miss the International Omaha April 12th through 15th at CenturyLink Center. Exciting equestrian competitions in a fun-filled, family-friendly atmosphere. For ticket information and scheduling, go to internationalomaha.com.
So I have struggled with my weight for my entire life. Most recently reached my all-time high. I reached 270 pounds.
I'm Jaime Bedoya, currently working in law enforcement. It's a stressful job, and it's definitely had an impact on my weight. I should be in my top form. I should be in better shape.
I had to do something to change my life.
Time for a change.
The Orbera Weight Loss Balloon is an innovative, non-surgical procedure that's helped thousands of people lose 20 to 50 pounds. The procedure is simple. A physician inserts the Orbera balloon, and once it's in your stomach, the balloon is filled and helps you feel full, so you lose weight. 200,000 people have changed their lives with Orbera. If you or someone you love is struggling to lose weight, Orbera might be the answer for you too.
No more.
To find out if you qualify for the Orbera Weight Loss Balloon, call or visit Orbera.com.
What do $55 million in repairs to Offutt?
The arena.
And the new VA Health Center have in common?
Brad Ashford.
Brad Ashford.
Brad Ashford has done a lot for Nebraska.
But now we need Brad more than ever.
I'm Brad Ashford, and I won't let Trump's Washington put Nebraskans' future at risk. In Congress, I'll protect Social Security and Medicare, stand up for Planned Parenthood, and fight against dangerous health care cuts. I approve this message because Washington should work for us.
For you, the kids and the dogs in your own backyard, the Grass Pad Idiot-Proof program starts today with the big yellow bag of Prevent. Spread it and forget it.
The Grass Pad's high on grass.
At Mutual of Omaha, we listen only to our customers, not to Wall Street, not to outside shareholders. We listen to you. For over 100 years, it's how we've built honest, compassionate, and lasting relationships. And so, that's how we begin, by listening. To see how we can recommend the insurance that makes sense for you, call 800-88-LISTEN or find an agent at mutualofomaha.com.
Fremont, thanks for watching KMTV3.
A military strike appears closer. The U.S. and its partners prepare a response to a chemical weapons attack in Syria. Also tonight, the president takes aim at the former FBI director, calling him a slimeball. We've learned of another payout to a woman arranged by Michael Cohen, this one on behalf of a Republican fundraiser. Deadly wildfires are racing across the American heartland.
In some places, the fire is spreading a mile every 8 to 12 minutes.
He was trapped in his minivan and called 911. Tonight, new questions about an emergency call center. A daring rescue in the waters of the Pacific. And Steve Hartman on the road to success, a road paved with failure.
If I couldn't handle not being good at something, then how could I consider myself a successful person?
This is the CBS Evening News with Jeff Glor.
We're going to begin here tonight with the intense discussions over how and when to punish Syria following an apparent chemical attack this week. The heated debate involves President Trump, top military advisors, and European countries that would likely join any military response. We have two reports tonight. Seth Doane is inside Syria, but we begin with David Martin at the Pentagon. David?
Jeff, all signs are that the U.S. military is gearing up for a strike against Syria that carries the risk of a much more dangerous confrontation with Russia. The strike could be carried out by long-range missiles launched from submarine ships or aircraft at Syrian military installations. But Vladimir Putin's top general has vowed to shoot down any missiles which threaten Russian personnel in Syria. The strike would come less than a week after a suspected chemical weapons attack the White House blames on both Syria and Russia.
We're again confident that both Syria had responsibility in this chemical weapons attack, but we also hold Russia responsible for their failure to stop chemical weapons attacks from taking place.
Both Great Britain and France appear ready to join the strike. Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, said all three countries have concluded chemical weapons were used.
Did a chemical weapons attack happen? Yes. The U.S. has analyzed, yes, it has happened. The UK has analyzed, yes, it has happened. France has analyzed, yes, it has happened. 3 separate analyses, all coming back with the same thing. There is proof that this happened.
Videos and blood samples indicate victims suffered symptoms consistent with both chlorine gas and a nerve agent. Ambassador Haley told the UN Security Council Syria's President Assad has a history of using chemical weapons.
The United States estimates that Assad has used chemical weapons in the Syrian war at least 50 times. We know who did this. Our allies know who did this. Russia can complain all it wants about fake news, but no one is buying its lies and its cover-ups.
And so, David, what would the U.S. be trying to accomplish with this strike?
Well, to do more damage than it did the last time, a year ago, when it struck Syria in retaliation for the use of chemical weapons, but to do it without hitting any Russians who will probably be given a last-minute heads up that the missiles are coming.
David Martin at the Pentagon. David, thank you very much. The Russian Defense Ministry today accused Britain of faking the attack in Duma to provoke a military response. Seth Doane is the only U.S. network journalist inside Syria.
Russian soldiers, Syria's strongest battlefield allies, congratulated themselves today on their continued wins against the rebels in Duma. But Syria admitted it still does not control the site of Saturday's alleged chemical attack, which poses a big problem for chemical weapons inspectors who are supposed to begin their work tomorrow. Syria's Deputy Foreign Minister Ayman Susan told us his government will do whatever it can to help.
Can you guarantee that they can get to the site if the Syrian army isn't
in full control of Duma?
The Russians are in close communication with some of the rebel groups, he said. But when we asked if investigators would get access to victims' bodies, he denied any attack took place. We think there are no dead bodies, he said, because there has not been a chemical attack. Just 10 miles away in government-controlled Damascus, it's a different world. Residents shrugged off the possibility of being a target. And at this amusement park, this mom echoed many here who believe there's simply no basis for military action.
A lot of people in America find it hard to believe that there's such support of President Bashar al-Assad.
No, we love Bashar al-Assad. He protected us and he built Syria.
But he also has used chemical weapons.
No, we don't believe that.
It's not clear how long it might take for the chemical weapons inspectors to safely make it to the site. And Jeff, the longer it takes, the less likely it is any evidence would remain.
Seth Doan and his team remain in Syria, the only U.S. network journalist there tonight. Seth, thank you. We do have some breaking news from northwest Arkansas this evening. A tornado touched down late today in the town of Mountainburg. Roofs were ripped off. A number of people, we are told, are trapped in their homes with rescue workers trying to get them out. Tornado watches and warnings are up across the central U.S. tonight. Tornadoes could pop up in at least a half a dozen states from Texas to Iowa. Now, the war of words between the president and fired FBI Director James Comey, which escalated today. We caution you, some of the language in this report from Paula Reed is graphic.
I started to tell him about the allegation was that he had been involved with prostitutes in a hotel in Moscow in 2013 during a visit for the Miss Universe pageant.
In his new memoir, former FBI Director James Comey describes the president's fixation on allegations contained in the now infamous election dossier.
Honestly, never thought these words would come out of my mouth, but I don't know whether the current president of the United States was with prostitutes peeing on each other in Moscow in 2013. It's possible, but I don't know.
Well, I think it's very sad what they've done with this fake dossier. It was made up.
Comey describes a meeting with Mr. Trump shortly before the inauguration to inform the president-elect about the allegations. Mr. Trump denied it.
Says he may want me to investigate it to prove that it didn't happen.
Mr. Trump attacked Comey in tweets today, calling him a proven leaker and liar and a weak and untruthful slimeball who was a terrible director of the FBI. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders hailed the president's decision to fire Comey.
One of the president's greatest achievements will go down as firing Director James Comey.
And dismissed the dossier.
The dossier is false opposition research that was funded by the Clinton campaign to attack the president.
Today, the Justice Department's internal watchdog released a damning report on Comey's former deputy, Andrew McCabe. The report concludes that McCabe misled investigators multiple times about his conversations with reporters before the 2016 election, leading to his firing. The report prompted another tweet attack from Mr. Trump this afternoon. DOJ just issued the McCabe report, which is a total disaster. He lied, lied, lied. McCabe was totally controlled by Comey. McCabe is Comey. Both McCabe and Comey are cooperating in the special counsel investigation. And like Comey, Mr. McCabe kept detailed notes about his conversation with the president, and those have been handed over to special counsel. Jeff?
All right, Paula Reed at the White House. Paula, thanks. The government filed court documents today confirming the president's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, is under criminal investigation. It is linked to his personal business dealings and finances. We've also learned of another payout that involved Cohen, this one made on behalf of a Republican fundraiser. Here's Jeff Pegues.
Late today, top GOP fundraiser Elliot Broidy abruptly resigned from the Republican National Committee. The venture capitalist acknowledged paying $1.6 million to a former Playboy model who said that he'd gotten her pregnant. The lawyer who negotiated the payoff, Michael Cohen, President Trump's personal attorney. Cohen is already under federal investigation for paying $130,000 to adult film star Stormy Daniels, who alleged that she had a sexual encounter with Mr. Trump in 2006. The payment made shortly before the 2016 election could have violated campaign finance laws. Monday, FBI agents raided Cohen's home, office, and hotel room and seized phones, computers, financial documents, and a safety deposit box. Agents used search warrants on multiple different email accounts maintained by Cohen and were worried Cohen could have deleted without record the material they sought. Sources say Cohen is known to tape conversations with people. Some of the evidence gathered may include those recordings. In court today, Cohen's attorneys tried to prevent the Justice Department from reviewing records seized in the raid, citing attorney-client privilege. Michael Avenatti, who represents Stormy Daniels, spoke outside the courtroom.
Clearly, Michael Cohen was his longtime attorney and effectively probably knows where all the bodies are buried, as they say. And I think that in the event that Michael Cohen is ultimately charged, that could pose significant and very, very serious problems for the President of the United States.
Jeff, the president today also pardoned Scooter Libby, who was an aide to Vice President Dick Cheney. Remind us of what Libby was convicted of and then the significance of this pardon today.
Well, Libby was convicted of 2007 of lying to the FBI and obstruction of justice in connection with the leak of CIA agent Valerie Plame's identity. The president said today that he pardoned Libby because he felt that Libby had been treated unfairly by a special counsel. But today some Democrats said that the president's true motivation here was to signal those implicated in the Russia investigation. As one lawmaker put it, quote, "You have my back and I'll have yours." Jeff.
All right, Jeff Pegues, thanks very much. An outbreak of wildfires has most of Oklahoma under a state of emergency tonight. High wind and severe drought are creating blowtorch conditions. At least one person has died. More than 200,000 acres have burned. 1,400 people have been forced from their homes. David Begnaud is there.
Guys, we got another house in the path of the fire.
In VC, Oklahoma tonight, wildfires are threatening the rural community of nearly 700 people, burning homes and killing cattle.
They're shooting back into the wind. They can't reach the fire.
In some places, the fire is spreading a mile every 8 to 12 minutes.
Come here, get out of there. That wind changed.
Since yesterday, more than 200,000 acres have burned across rural areas of western Oklahoma.
All these power lines, just saw 3 head of dead cattle.
The largest fire burning is the Ray Fire in Dewey County. That fire is 28 miles long and 7 miles wide. There's a new tool Oklahoma firefighters have. It's called the GOES 16 satellite. It was launched last year. It's precise enough that forecasters at the National Weather Service are spotting small flames in rural areas before they are reported by people on the ground. It is a crucial tool that has alerted firefighters to 40 spot fires in the last 48 hours. A 61-year-old man died because of these fires. His name has not been released. I asked a fire official, what do you need in order to get some kind of containment on these blazes? He said a change in weather. Well, Jeff, tonight the weather's changing, but not for the better.
Frightening conditions there. David Begnaud in Oklahoma, thank you very much. California Highway Police said today tests show the woman who drove her family off a cliff last month was legally drunk. Jamie Yukas has more on this late development.
Jennifer Hart was behind the wheel and drunk when she plunged her family's SUV over a 100-foot cliff.
Jennifer Hart's blood alcohol level was above the legal limit.
Her wife, Sarah Hart, and 6 children were inside the vehicle. Investigators say it was crashed intentionally.
Sarah Hart had a significant amount of the ingredient, primarily in Benadryl, in her system. 2 of the children also were determined to have had Benadryl type of substances.
Benadryl is an allergy medicine that can make people feel sleepy. The Harts and 3 of their children were found dead last month. The Oregon women had adopted all 6 children, including Devontae, who you may remember from this 2014 picture, hugging a Portland police officer during a protest against the Ferguson police shooting. Child Protective Services had recently visited their home after the children complained about being abused to neighbors. In 2011, Sarah pled guilty in Minnesota to domestic assault after a teacher saw bruises on one of the children.
3 children are still missing. Investigators say they recently found a body near where the vehicle went into the ocean. But, Jeff, they have not been able to positively identify it yet as one of the children.
Tragic case. Jamie Yukas, thank you. Coming up next year on the CBS Evening News, the death of a teenager is raising questions about a city's 911 system.
Your body was made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist move to another treatment, ask Ask if Xeljanz XR is right for you. Xeljanz XR is a once-daily pill for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well. It can reduce pain, swelling, and further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Xeljanz XR can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, and other cancers have happened. Don't start Xeljanz XR if you have an infection. Tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz XR and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you are in a region where fungal infections are common and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Xeljanz XR can reduce the symptoms of RA even without methotrexate. Ask your rheumatologist about Xeljanz XR.
You can't predict the market, but through good times and bad, at T. Rowe Price, we've helped our investors stay confident for over 80 years. Call us or your advisor. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
Seresto, Seresto, Seresto. Whatever your dog brings home to you, it shouldn't be fleas and ticks. Seresto gives your dog 8 continuous months of flea and tick protection in an easy-to-use, non-greasy collar. 8 months. Seresto, Seresto, Seresto.
It's trying to tell us something.
Let's see what forensics thinks.
Ryan, late. What'd I miss?
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest fares as low as $49 one way. That's transparency.
So here's the thing. I'm actually closer to my retirement days than I am my college days. I just want to know, am I going to be okay?
I know people who specialize in am I going to be okay.
I like that.
You may need glasses, though.
Schedule a complimentary goal planning session with TD Ameritrade.
Our next story here is heartbreaking. A teenager gets trapped in a minivan, makes desperate pleas to 911 for help, but it doesn't get there in time. It happened in Cincinnati, focusing new attention on the city's troubled emergency response system. Adriana Diaz is there.
I'm in help. Help. Help.
16-year-old Kyle Plush had to use voice commands to call 911. He was trapped in the back of his minivan while his phone was in the front.
I'm trapped in my van outside the 7 Hills parking lot.
The Seven Hills what parking lot? Police say Plush was reaching for his tennis gear in the back when the third row of the 2004 Honda Odyssey collapsed, pinning him upside down and suffocating him.
I'm gonna die here.
12 minutes after he called, police were at the scene but couldn't locate him. While they were there, Plush called 911 again and gave specifics on his car and his last wishes.
I probably don't have much time left to tell my mom that I love her if I die.
The 911 operator, who's been put on leave, didn't relay the make or model to police. She claims she couldn't hear Plush and that her computer froze. Critics say it's the latest incident involving a 911 system riddled with issues. Today, Cincinnati Mayor John Cranley said the problems of management, supervision, and technology have plagued the 911 center for years.
Time's up for waiting for our 911 system to fix itself.
City Councilman Chris Seelbach.
We have to take urgent action immediately to have a system in place that ensures that you can call 3 numbers and within minutes, police or fire officers will be on the scene.
Plush wasn't discovered until almost 6 hours after he called 911 when his father found him in the car. Internal police records show that the 911 operator who was put on leave received a rating of unacceptable for her performance on the call. Jeff?
Adriana Diaz, thanks. Coming up here, he drove down a cliff and into the ocean. How did he survive?
The day after chemo might mean a trip back to the doctor's office, just for a shot. But why go back there when you can stay home with Neulasta Onpro?
Strong chemo can put you at risk of serious infection. Neulasta helps reduce infection risk by boosting your white blood cell count, which strengthens your immune system. In a key study, Neulasta reduced the risk of infection from 17% to 1%, a 94% decrease. Applied the day of chemo, Neulasta Onpro is designed to deliver Neulasta the next day. Neulasta is for certain cancer patients receiving strong chemotherapy. Do not take Neulasta if you're allergic to Neulasta or Neupogen, filgrastim. Ruptured spleen, sometimes fatal as well as serious lung problems, allergic reactions, kidney injuries, and capillary leak syndrome have occurred. Report abdominal or shoulder tip pain, trouble breathing, or allergic reactions to your doctor right away. In patients with sickle cell disorders, serious, sometimes fatal crises can occur. The most common side effect is bone and muscle ache.
So why go back there? If you'd rather be home, ask your doctor about Neulasta Onpro.
Nick was born to move. 3 toddlers won't stop him, and neither will lower back pain. Because at a Dr. Scholl's kiosk, he got a recommendation for a custom-fit orthotic to relieve his foot, knee, or lower back pain from being on his feet. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
You wouldn't accept an incomplete job from anyone else. So why accept it from your allergy pills? Most pills don't finish the job because they don't relieve nasal congestion. Flonase allergy relief is different. Flonase relieves sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, and a runny nose, plus nasal congestion, which pills don't. Flonase helps block 6 key inflammatory substances. Most pills only block 1, and 6 is greater than 1. Start your day with Flonase for more complete allergy relief. Flonase, this changes everything.
What is it?
The next big thing in food was once a little paper box.
Now we can easily take out food from a restaurant.
Let's stay in and binge watch the snow.
Genius.
Now, the next big thing is the Capital One Saver Card.
Good choice, babe.
Ooh, wait, hold on.
Earn 3% cash back on dining, 2% on groceries, and 1% on all other purchases.
What's in your wallet?
Salonpas. We're the world leader in medicinal pain patches.
Our latest innovation, Salonpas Lidocaine, using hydrogel-based technology with the maximum strength lidocaine
you can buy without a prescription.
Salonpas Lidocaine. Nothing is proven stronger or more effective against pain.
Excuse me, didn't...
Life moves pretty fast. It's important to start your day one step ahead. 3 News Now this morning keeps you connected to what's new, now, and next. Max Tarleton gets you around those morning jams. Ryan McPike tracks the storm's every move. And Emily Zink and James Johnson keep you up to the minute on what impacts your morning. With the news you need to jumpstart your day. 3 News Now this morning, made for mornings.
Near San Francisco today, a minivan went off the highway and into the Pacific. The driver swerved down a rocky cliff near a rugged trail called the Devil's Slide. A rescue team rappelled more than 100 feet down to the water and then carried that man up to the road. The minivan was crushed. The man is okay. Police in Mountain View, California say body cam video released today shows officers followed proper procedure when they questioned a woman hours before she opened fire at YouTube headquarters. Nasim Agdam had been reported missing by her family.
You don't want to hurt yourself, do you? Or you don't want to hurt anybody else? You don't want to commit suicide or anything like that, right?
Agdam later shot and wounded 3 people at YouTube before killing herself. Steve Hartman and On the Road is next.
Tonight's On the Road segment is sponsored by Eggland's Best Eggs. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Which is the only egg good enough for my family? Only Eggland's Best. With more farm fresh taste, more vitamins, and 25% less saturated fat, only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
AT&T provides edge-to-edge intelligence, covering virtually every part of your business. So this won't happen, because you've made sure this sensor and this machine are integrated. Attaboy. And yes, some people assign genders to machines. And with edge-to-edge intelligence, you'll know your customers love this color and don't love this one.
Never getting grape again.
And you can adjust in near real time. And if someone tries to breach your firewall in London and you start to panic, don't. You've got allies on the outside and security algorithms on the inside. And if it's jammed up here, and it's hot in here, and you know both those things, you can do this, and your flowers won't wilt. AT&T provides edge-to-edge intelligence. It can do so much for your business, the list goes on and on. That's the power of And. And when her patient's blood pressure drops, she can share the information with other specialists.
No matter how the markets change, at T. Rowe Price, our disciplined approach remains. Global markets may be uncertain, but you can feel confident in our investment experience around the world. Call us or your advisor. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
It was here. I couldn't catch my breath.
It was the last song of the night. Felt like my heart was skipping beats.
I went to the ER.
They said I had AFib.
AFib? What's AFib?
I knew that meant I was at a greater risk of stroke.
I needed answers.
Once I got the facts, my doctor and I chose Xarelto.
Xarelto, to help keep me protected from a stroke.
Once daily Xarelto, a latest generation blood thinner, significantly lowers the risk of stroke in people with AFib not caused by a heart valve problem. In a clinical study, over 96% of people taking Xarelto remain stroke-free.
Xarelto works differently.
Warfarin interferes with at least 6 of your body's natural blood clotting factors. Xarelto is selective, targeting just one critical factor. For AFib patients well managed on warfarin, there is limited information on how Xarelto compares in reducing the risk of stroke. Don't stop taking Xarelto without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. Xarelto can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. It may increase your risk of bleeding if you take certain medicines. Get help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising. Do not take Xarelto if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. Before starting, tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures and any kidney or liver problems.
Learn all you can
to help protect yourself from a stroke.
Talk to your doctor about Xarelto.
If you're a fan of CBS Sunday Morning,
then you're going to love Omaha Sunday Morning. Sunday morning starting at 7:30 right here on KMTV3.
Tonight, Steve Hartman does a deep dive and finds the key to success on the road.
They were the bad news bears of swimming.
Y'all are on 2 minutes.
In fact, Coach Alex Wiedemann of Seguin High School in Arlington, Texas, says you can't overstate their underachievement.
Our goal every meet was to finish the race. Just get across the pool? Get across the pool. Really, we measured our success on not getting disqualified.
And because that was the standard, 4 years ago, Gerald Hodges made the team. Perhaps the only kid to ever make a high school swim team without a clue how to swim.
We had to get anybody. It didn't matter.
He didn't know how to swim.
He couldn't get across 5 yards, let alone 25 yards.
Was there really nobody better?
No.
Come on, Gerald. Come on, Gerald.
Eventually, he at least learned how to not drown and even finish some races, albeit long after the other competitors were done and toweled off.
Push it, come on.
Yes, he was that bad, which is interesting because on dry land, Gerald is a remarkable athlete.
Could you have made the basketball team?
I think so.
Could you have made the football team?
I'm pretty sure.
Soccer team?
Pretty positive.
So why swimming?
I felt like if I couldn't handle not being good at something, then how could I consider myself, a successful person?
That quote bears repeating. If I couldn't handle not being good at something, then how could I consider myself a successful person? To Gerald, setting yourself up for failure is actually the key to future success, especially if you can somehow manage to master your weakness. And by the start of his senior year, Gerald had actually improved a lot.
But no one really knew how much he'd improved until a big regional meet earlier this year. It was the 200-yard medley relay. Top 2 teams qualify for state. And as usual, Seguin was pretty much in last place with 50 yards to go. And that's when Gerald jumped in the water.
Keep in mind, at this level, making up any significant time is nearly impossible. Unless maybe you've got something to prove. Unless, maybe, there's an extra drive deep within anyone who knows what it's like to be dismissed. Whatever it was, the kid who couldn't swim just sent his team to state.
Man, we was ecstatic. I could barely contain my energy as I was trying to go get this medal. I'm sitting here just freaking out.
You're having a hard time now.
Yes, yeah, I was like, I've come so far.
From now on, whenever you think anything is impossible, think of Gerald. Whenever you think America has lost its heart, think of Gerald. Steve Hartman, on the road in Arlington, Texas.
Oh, baby, that is awesome. And that is the CBS Evening News for this week. I'm Jeff Glor. The news continues now with Tanya Rivero on CBSN, streaming 24 hours a day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Hope you enjoyed some nice weather while it lasted. We found golfers hitting the links in the warm temperatures today, but big changes are right at our doorstep. We have a little bit of everything happening weather-wise, from blizzard conditions in western Nebraska to the first tornado warning of the season in southwest Iowa. Good evening. I'm Jennifer Griswold. Craig is off tonight. We have live team coverage with Nick Starling in the Weather Alert Storm Tracker with how storm chasers prepared, and Maya Signs in the 3 News Now Tracker following the storms. But we begin with meteorologist Jennifer Zeppelin with what's going on right now. Jen?
Well, things are definitely beginning to improve somewhat across the area, which is great news. We still have watches in effect, but no warnings for our viewing area now. That is mainly off to the northeast of us. So at Atlantic, that is where we're still looking at some decent, strong thunderstorms there, but no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for the area. Still have the tornado watch, severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. Want to show you the cluster of thunderstorms. What's happening is that this moisture is starting to run into very cold air, so it's really starting to cap and cause the storms to fizzle out. You can see them breaking apart, still producing a lot of rainfall. The hail threats also decreasing, but still gusty winds is going to be part of the problem. Around Falls City right now, we still have some decent storms crossing over the river right around Highway or Interstate 29, getting close at least north of Mound City. So these are the areas that will continue to be dealing with at least the potential for some strong activity. It's a very large scope on this storm system. It has been very violent from the standpoint of the thunder, the lightning, the hail, the wind. Again, funnels were reported, but no tornadoes, even though we did have one warning that was issued. You can still see this huge complex of thunderstorms still generating a lot of rain, some gusty winds. Now it looks like the overall hail threat's decreasing, but still a lot of energy with these storms producing a ton of lightning. The temperatures continue to drop, but this is a massive storm system. Again, the warm, moist air to the south of the cold front and the cold air with wind and snow continues back to the west. We have big changes coming in through the overnight hours, and again, that rain will be switching over to snow. I'll have more on that coming up shortly.
As mentioned, the storm system brought tornado warnings to southwest Iowa earlier. Viewer Troy Smith sent us this video of a funnel cloud near Emerson, Iowa, which is about a 45-minute drive southwest of Omaha. Look at it there. There's no word that it touched down or caused any damage. Marlene Skalberg sent us these photos of what may be the same funnel cloud near Emerson. Skalberg says she did not see a touchdown, but hail followed shortly after. Reporter Maya Signs is live in the 3 News Now Tracker following the storms in southwest Iowa near Glenwood. Maya, what are you seeing now?
Yeah, Jen, as you said, we are right now on the Now Tracker, and we are on Highway 34 traveling east. We just left Glenwood about 5 minutes ago. And right now, we've been, through the past 3 hours that we've been out here, we've been near Glenwood, Henderson, Carson, Macedonia, and Hastings. And we've kind of been in and out of that storm that came earlier today. Right now it's still raining. The rain has been picking up and down with heavy rain and then light rain. We are seeing lighter and clearer skies than we did about an hour ago. Earlier in the afternoon, around between 5 and 5:30, which is when we saw the strongest part of the storm. We saw strong winds, some lightning, again heavy rain, pea-sized hail in Glenwood. And of course that really dark sky, we saw it all around us in every direction at that point. We also saw many cars pulled over along Highway 34 as the driving conditions were just not that great during that time, again, between like 5 and 5:30. And like Nick mentioned earlier in our earlier newscast, a lot of storm chasers out here right now. Getting pictures, pulled over, kind of seeing which direction is best. But again, we are right now traveling on Highway 34 going east. And as you can see here through our driving shot, that it is kind of cleared out at this point. We're getting very small raindrops at this point, but no more of those dark skies or strong winds that we saw earlier today. Jen, back to you.
Thanks, Maya. Viewer Kelsey Rollins sent us these photos of the hail that fell in Oakland, Iowa. As you can see, some of the hailstones that fell were larger than the size of a quarter. And we also got this photo from a viewer of the hail left behind after the storm moved through Carson, Iowa. As you can see here, the hail has partially covered this backyard deck. And here's another photo from a viewer of the large hailstones that fell in Henderson, Iowa. Look at those right there. They cover up half that person's hand. Strong spring storms like the ones popping up this afternoon in western Iowa are what storm chasers live for. They play an important role in helping keep you and your family safe during severe weather. Reporter Nick Starling continues our live team coverage in the Weather Alert Storm Tracker. Nick?
Hey there, Jenny. We are tracking the storms along with many other storm chasers. If you take a look at our camera shot right now, we are heading eastbound on Highway 6. We've been on this road for the past couple hours now, and we've seen a lot of rain, a lot of hail and lightning as well, but it's pretty much lightened up since then. But while it hasn't really felt much like spring, we are finally getting into severe weather season. Many storm chasers are getting ready and packing up to catch the action. Scott and Jennifer Nicholson have been storm chasing together for 8 years and have a passion for seeing storms like the ones we're seeing today. They hope for an active season, but not for damage. They say safety is their #1 priority, and they pack blankets and flashlights in case they're out for a while.
Today we started by looking at weather maps, looking at more models, trying to see the best area that might produce a tornado. So that's where we're going to head.
And that means south of here, they're going to the tri-state area of Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri to see if they can catch any of the major storms. And as we take another look outside, you can just see right now it is raining, as we have been on this road for the past few hours, and there's been a lot of activity, but right now, not so bad. Reporting live on Highway 6, Nick Starling, 3 News Now. We'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Nick. The city of Norfolk declared a snow emergency beginning at 7 tomorrow morning until further notice. The Nebraska State Patrol has closed roads in western Nebraska due to the blizzard conditions, including I-80 from the Wyoming line to North Platte. We were trying to get a live look, but it looks like that image is not available at this time. As we've been hearing, though, it's difficult to see the road in some of those shots due to the whiteout conditions. This is far in western Nebraska. You can keep track of this storm as it moves through online at 3newsnow.com. It was a big day for the 22 men and women that became a part of the Omaha Fire Department this afternoon. The new recruits graduated from the training academy and received their badges this afternoon at City Hall. Valedictorian Ross Passmore says after countless push-ups and times running stairs, it's a relief to finish training and finally become a firefighter.
This is the end of a big moment of your life, or part of your life. So this is a great experience, and it's a perfect way to end it.
Congrats to them. The new firefighters will allow the department to become fully staffed after recent retirements. Governor Pete Ricketts is back in Nebraska after his trip to Washington to meet with the state's congressional delegation and President Trump to discuss international trade. While farmers are concerned about the impact of Chinese tariffs on American ag products, they're also concerned about fuel standards here at home. Reporter Megan Stewart has how the governor is pushing for an ethanol waiver from the feds.
Good news for corn producers came out of that meeting with President Trump. President Trump did say he was in support of an E15 waiver, which could mean more options for drivers at the pump.
This is a positive message for Nebraska. This is a positive message for the Midwest.
When these guys aren't wearing suits, they're in the fields. Corn growers Jan Ten Bensel and Scott McFeeters are elated about a possible E15 waiver.
You know, people are saying, oh no, E15, that's another mandate. No, it's not. It's a choice and people are wanting it. It's a pull into the market by the consumer. So I'm really hopeful that it will be allowed. Right now, we're not even allowed to have the choice.
My message to the president yesterday was, you've got some time, farmers and ranchers are with you, but we need to make sure that we're getting these trade deals done.
Governor Pete Ricketts met with the ethanol board at their forum following his trip to Washington to meet with President Donald Trump. He discussed solving trade issues like the impending China tariffs, renegotiating NAFTA, and maybe re-entering the TPP. One question remaining, a timeline.
Obviously, the sooner the better would be best. Obviously, we haven't even really begun planting with the weather here lately. So we do have some time here over the next several months.
For the growers, they hope there's not too much time before this trade issue is solved, and they also hope they can get in their fields soon.
I'm hoping for middle of next week to late next week to start planting some corn and some other things.
Nebraska is the second largest ethanol producing state. Reporting in Omaha, Megan Stewart, 3 News Now.
Development at the former Mr. C's site in North Omaha brings affordable housing to an area in need. 30 Metro cut the ribbon today on a $20 million facility that features 110 affordable apartments at 30th and Ford. There's also a health clinic and retail space on the first floor. It's right across from Metro Community College, and the developer hopes to fill a need.
I think that there's not that many options for Metro. It's different with universities, but with Metro, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of options with like living on campus.
A 2-bedroom apartment will cost less than $800 a month. Omaha has a wide variety of restaurant choices, and it looks like Giordano's Chicago-style pizza is coming soon. So we asked people what other restaurants they would like to see in town. The answers we got next. And here's another look at an NDOT camera in western Nebraska. Wow, look at this. This is on I-80 at Sutherland, just west of North Platte. As you can tell, their conditions not good at all. You can see a lot of snow on the ground, and it appears that it's drifting over the roads.
And right now, our threat is severe thunderstorms. Strong activity right now, no warnings in effect. And actually, the overall severe weather threat is beginning to decrease. I'll have more on the storm development and the chances for snow after the break.
You're watching KMTV 3 News Now with Jennifer Griswold, Craig Negrelli, Weather Alert Team meteorologist Jennifer Zeppelin, and sports with Ben Stevens. This is KMTV 3 News Now, live at 6.
What's the best-selling small tractor in America? Kubota's BX Series subcompacts. No other subcompact tractors on the market have so much power and versatility designed to fit in your garage. Dig, haul, and plant your acreage from daily chores to weekend projects. And if you're looking to mow right now, a 54-inch mower deck is included. Now get a BX 1880 for as low as $99 a month with 0% APR financing for 84 months. Kubota's BX 1880, the only real choice.
Valentino's family recipes have been passed down for generations. It's a classic Italian tradition we put into every dish we make. We use only the freshest ingredients for a more authentic taste. Whatever you choose, you can be sure it's made with off-the-vine freshness for a healthier, more wholesome flavor. Valentino's, classic Italian tradition.
Go to valentinos.com to find a location nearest you. Order online for easy pickup or fast delivery.
Real people, steel people. Professionals demand dependability on the job. Homeowners expect long-lasting value. And servicing steel dealers provide friendly, knowledgeable support. Right now, get a free wheel kit with purchase of a steel yard boss, or save $50 on the HS45 hedge trimmer. Now just $249.95. Get yours now, only at your local steel dealer. Search STIHL or visit steeldealers.com.
The big story today at America's largest home furnishing store is savings. Customers are getting the price on furniture and flooring usually reserved for close family of employees.
Right. That makes this leather rocker recliner just $299. $60 off Mart price.
Plus, they're offering 24-month financing store-wide. The big news over in appliance and electronics is a $10 million blowout event. And the top story is shoppers saving like family on furniture and flooring now at Nebraska Furniture Mart.
Don't let that crabgrass take hold of your yard. Get the grass pads, prevent defense, and hit them fast and hard. Come on down to the grass pad. The grass pad's high on grass.
Chicago-style pizza chain Giordano's tweeted out yesterday that company executives were in town scouting out locations for an Omaha restaurant. Since Omaha is a foodie town, that got us wondering, what other restaurants would you like to see in town? Omaha World Herald visual journalist Megan McGill went looking for answers.
It's the lunch rush on Friday afternoon, and in downtown Omaha, there are plenty of options for hungry customers. Pizza lovers are still relishing in the joy of a Chicago deep dish pizza place planting its roots in Omaha.
There are a lot of new restaurants coming, like that Giordano's place is coming, so we have a lot of like pizza options.
With the buzz of a new pizza place headed to Omaha, I took to the streets of the old market to see what other restaurants people would like to see here.
I'd like to see more ethnic food options here in Omaha, specifically Indian food, Thai food, more Vietnamese options, just high quality ethnic food options to kind of expand your palate a little bit and get something different.
Southern food chains were also popular among people I talked to. Steak and Shake was mentioned several times.
I'd love to see In-N-Out Burger here. I think it's just amazing. We don't have one here.
So I think it'd be really awesome if Snooze came. It's a place that's in Colorado and I think some other places.
Some people mentioned restaurants that had more options for vegans as well.
I like vegetarian options, so ethnic restaurants, Indian, Vietnamese, Thai.
While opinions differed on what the city needs, most agreed that more options are never a bad thing.
I feel like the city is so cosmopolitan, like when it comes to food. We have a little bit of everything, but some of those coast chains would be really cool.
Some people I talked to said they would like more to come into the city of Omaha. There were still plenty of people who said there's enough variety for them. Reporting from the Old Market with the Omaha World Herald, Megan McGill for 3 News Now.
That one guy talking about food said we have a little bit of everything. We have a little bit of everything when it comes to weather. It's crazy to see the shots of snow coming here and then the severe weather that took place earlier and still unfolding, really.
I know, yeah, it's just unbelievable. Springtime in Nebraska, really across the heartland. You can see just a little bit about everything, and that's exactly what we're seeing across the region today. Taking a live look right now on radar, showing you where the potential for severe thunderstorms continue. While the tornado watch has been expired from a couple of counties, we now have a new warning in effect for Atchison, Holt, and again in areas just right over the river. So in Iowa, we're still looking at some concerns here. This in effect until 7 o'clock tonight. So a warning that just got issued, and you can see where the tornado watch is off to the north. So Creston, Clarinda, you're still included in this severe thunderstorm watch in effect. And again, another warning up to the north of us, but that is staying away from us for the time being. Here is this huge cluster of showers, thunderstorms. It continues to come down pretty steady and heavy as far as the rainfall, but all of this moisture, these storms are running into much colder air. So that is pretty much putting a cap on the storm development and allowing them to break apart, start fizzling across the region, which is great news. So Atlantic right now, we're looking at still some steady rainfall. The hail threat seems to be decreasing a little bit. Clarinda, around Shenandoah, we're still looking at some isolated pockets of stronger storms, but again, the most intense thunderstorm right now south of Tarkio, near Tarkio, and just off to the west of Mound City and east of Falls City. So this is crossing over from extreme southeastern Nebraska and heading into Iowa. So this potentially producing some decent sized hail and some very gusty winds, 50, 60 miles an hour. Bigger scope view on this. Check out how intense these thunderstorms are. Again, it's been running into a very warm, ripe environment for storm development today, and that's why the atmosphere is just super energized. Just tons of lightning strikes, making it very dangerous outside. And as Jenny was mentioning, what a contrast with this storm system. Tornado watches in effect all the way from Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, even Arkansas and Missouri. On the backside of the storm system, it's switching over to snow, and it is coming down steady and heavy. So we're in between systems right now here in Omaha. The watch in effect, tornado watch, up until 9 o'clock tonight. Severe thunderstorm watch, again, that in effect until late tonight as well. So we are not under a watch here in town. However, look at the contrast in temperatures. 40s to the north, 50s in Tacoma, 60s in the metro, still some 70s, close to 80 down to the south. But today we were in the 80s from Plattsmouth to Nebraska City. As far as the Omaha metro, Epley right now, 63 degrees and east-southeast wind at 9. You can see a little bit of rain falling from our Harris Casino cam. Camera bobbing just a little bit, so we do have a bit of a wind coming in as the storm system keeps tracking off to the east. Want to show you the contrast in temperatures. Look at how cold it is back to north and west. This cold air is what is headed our way. So hopefully you enjoyed the warmth today because it doesn't last much longer. That's why the winter weather advisories, watches, also warnings go into effect for tomorrow. The metro is in a winter weather advisory for tomorrow. Winter storm warning for parts of Tacoma, back to the west over Fremont. Blizzard warning, Norfolk, Columbus, and York. We're talking gusty winds, 40, 50 miles an hour, which will cause blowing and drifting snow. Amounts are expected to be higher from Columbus, Pender, Wayne, and Norfolk, between about 4 to up to 8 inches. Here in the metro, about 1 to 2. There's going to be a lot of melting and thawing going on as the storm system continues to move through. Start off with rain in the morning, switching over to a wintry mix, and then all snow for most of the day, and doesn't start exiting until early Sunday morning. We'll start to see this thing winding down across the region. So we'll still have some showers, thunderstorms breaking out early in the morning. So during the early morning, right around sunrise, switching over to that wintry mix and then all over to snow with falling temperatures. Strong gusty winds continue to impact our area as we go into the weekend. Here's a look at those temperatures. Again, we warmed it up today, but falling temperatures tomorrow, 36 on Sunday, snow coming to an end. 46 on Monday, a dry start to next week, but we are expecting some more chances for some showers moving in on Wednesday and Thursday, and a bit of a warm up with highs back in the 50s and 60s. To stay up to date when warnings are issued across the area so you know when it happens, download the Storm Shield app to your phone.
It really is such a roller coaster. I hear people talking about it and they just can't believe that, oh, now we're going to see snow and cold after seeing the warmth. It's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, this is a serious shock to the system that we're going to be experiencing here in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, winter roaring back. Thanks, Jen. For the first time in 3 weeks, Nebraska baseball is hosting a game at Haymarket Park. Highlights from Nebraska's contest against Iowa next in sports.
Sunday, live from Las Vegas, it's the ACM Awards with Jason Aldean, Miranda Lambert, Luke Bryan, Kenny Chesney, Maren Morris, Dan and Shay, Thomas Rhett, Florida Georgia Line with BB Rexa, Alan Jackson, Sean Party, Lady Annabella, Dierks Bentley, Blake Shelton, Kane Brown, Lauren Elena, Keith Urban. And that's just the first hour. Plus, Carrie Underwood returns to the stage to perform the world premiere of her new song. Reba McEntire hosts the ACM Awards, live CBS Sunday.
Fort Calhoun. Thanks for watching KMTV3.
This is my Toyota RAV4. My wife and I love it for so many reasons. Fold-down seats, cargo space for days, and the best part? Hands-free liftgate. We can literally open the trunk with our feet. And for that flexibility, I give my RAV4 5 oversized bags.
Tested, trusted, Toyota. Lease a new 2018 RAV4 for $259 per month, or get 0% APR plus $500 bonus cash. Find your Toyota at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
What do $55 million in repairs to Offutt,
the arena,
and a new VA health center have in common? Brad Ashford. Brad Ashford.
Brad Ashford has done a lot for Nebraska.
But now we need Brad more than ever.
I'm Brad Ashford, and I won't let Trump's Washington put Nebraskans' future at risk. In Congress, I'll protect Social Security and Medicare, stand up for Planned Parenthood, and fight against dangerous health care cuts. I approve this message because Washington should work for us.
It's time for Godfather's Pizza's Slam Dunk Deal. Start with my jumbo pie. Get a half specialty, half one-topper, and my big chocolate chip cookie. Top it off with my new toffee caramel crunch. It's a slam dunk deal. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Hey, Coach, how do I ask Jenny Pritchard to the prom?
Here, son, take my loaded potato lays. One bite of these, you might just say yes.
Thanks, Coach.
Actually, get your own. Olay the day, Timmy.
Our new loaded potato olays are just $3.49. Olay the day at Taco John's.
Now, your Omaha Sports Insider Report.
If it feels like Nebraska baseball hasn't been at home a lot during this Big Ten Conference slate, that's because this weekend's series against Iowa is only the Huskers' second home set in conference play. And you playing a doubleheader today against the Hawkeyes. Game 1 versus Iowa is also the Huskers' first home game in nearly 3 weeks. Bottom of the first, no score until NU's Jesse Wilkening slaps the RBI single. That scores Zach Rapinski for the Big Red. 1-0 Nebraska just like that. But at the top of the second, Hawkeyes get it right back. Wilkening has the pass ball go right past him behind the dish. Justin Jenkins scores for Iowa, tying the game at 1. Now top of the fourth, more Hawkeyes. Mitchell Bowe doubles down the line and right over the head of the first baseman Scott Schreiber playing over there today. And 2 runs score for Iowa, and it's all Hawkeyes this afternoon as the Huskers lose game 1, 7-1. Creighton baseball, meanwhile, on the road this weekend in Big East action, visiting first place St. John's. CU has a chance to get on the board early. 2 on for Thomas Levant on the top of the first, but he goes down swinging. The Red Storm's Sean Mooney had 8 strikeouts today, and St. John's had the bats rolling early. Already up 2-zip in the second. Anthony Bricado adds on, launching the solo shot. The Johnnies take the 3-0 lead. Now 4-0 in the top of the 8th. Lubano this time at the dish blasts a deep shot to center off the wall. The double scores 2 for Creighton, makes it a 4-2 ball game. But St. John's comes right back in the bottom of the half of the frame, and CU falls 6-2. The 2 teams play a doubleheader tomorrow, starting at noon. Former Husker Tatum Edwards, now an assistant at Purdue. Nebraska softball hosting the Boilermakers. Bottom of the second, tied at 1. NU's Olivia Simons drives it to deep center off the outfielder's gloves. A 2-run triple. The Big Red goes up 3-1. Later in the second, more Nebraska. Tatum's sister Tristan Edwards saying, "Take this right here, sis." The RBI single back up the gut into center. Simon scores 4-1 Huskers. Bottom of the 8th, tied at 7. Bases loaded. NU's Olivia Farrell at the dish. And the Elkhorn South alum takes one for the